لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
And the hadith of Tamim Udari says that the angel will come in the most awful of forms to this fasiq, to this fajr, to this kafir, to this munafiq. It will come in the most awful of forms. As Imam Qurtubi says that the angel of death is so frightening, is so scary, that all the angels in the heaven fear the angel of death more than one of you fears a lion, fears a beast. And when the angel of death, when it comes to a fajr, when it comes to a kafir, when it comes to a munafiq, when it comes to a zalim, it will come in such form that his feet will be on the ground and his head will be in the heaven. 12 eyes, black of face, fire leaping out from his mouth, coming out from his nose. He'll have a forked iron rod made out of fire. He'll have 500 angels behind him with whips and embers made out of fire. And when it comes to a fajr, when it comes to a kafir, when it comes to a munafiq, or when it comes to a zalim, there's no addressing with assalamu alaikum. The angel of death will strike him with his forked iron rod, and this forked iron rod will enter his body. And when he enters his body, he'll enter every single vein, every single joint. As Abdullah says, radiallahu anhu, that when this forked iron rod is struck on him, and he enters every single vein, every single joint, it will reach the heart, and it will tear the veins from the heart. And that time the person becomes insane, he becomes mad. And then the angel of death begins to twist it. He begins to twist it. And when he begins to twist it, causes the veins in the heart to burst. And then the angel of death will start taking his soul out.
Once Sayyidina Ibrahim radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the hadith reported by Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, asked the angel of death, show me the form that you assume at the time of taking out the good soul and at the time of taking out the bad soul. He first asked, أرني كيف تقبض روح المؤمن. Show me the form that you assume at the time of taking out a good soul. The angel of death told Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, اصرف وجهك عني. Turn your face away. The angel of death changed its form. When Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam looked at the angel of death, he saw a very handsome young man, beautiful of face. His face has no white clothes and with a beautiful smell. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam said to the angel of death, كي لو لم يلقى المؤمن من السرور شيئا سوى وجهك لكفاه. That if a believer is deprived of every blessings, every ni'mah, every pleasure at the time of his death, just you coming in this beautiful and very handsome form is an adequate compensation. Then Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam said, أرني كيف تقبض روح الكافر. Show me how the form that you come when you take the soul of a kafir, of a non-believer. The angel of death said, O Ibrahim, لا تطيق ذلك. You will not be able to bear to see me in this form. Arini. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam insisted. The angel of death said, yet again, اصرف وجهك عني. Turn your face away for a short while. And the angel of death changed its form. What does Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam see? He sees a man, black of face. رجلاه في الأرض ورأسه في السماء. His feet are on dunya and his head is in the heaven. With the most awful of smells coming from him. Fire leaping from his nose and coming out of his mouth. His body hair are like men. His body covered with hair, and his hair are like men, each with fire coming out of his ears and come out of his nose and his mouth. His body hair are like men. His hair covered with His body covered with hair, and his hair are like men, each with fire coming out of his ears and come out of his nose and his mouth. When Sayyidina Ibrahim ﷺ saw the angel of death in this form, he could not bear it, and Sayyidina Ibrahim ﷺ fainted. When he came round, the angel of death had changed his form.
Whoever can save himself from that Jahannam, and he's admitted into gardens under which rivers flow, he is the one that has succeeded. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. My young friend, do not be deceived by that BMW that you may drive. Do not be deceived by that Jaguar or the fat Range Rover that you may have. Do not be deceived by the bungalows that you may live in. Tall, lofty buildings, beautiful houses, the beautiful clothes that you may wear. Do not be deceived by this dunya. Why? وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. This dunya is deceiving. Why? Because everything with this dunya will come to an end, and this dunya will also come to an end. كُلُّ مَنْ عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. There is only one thing to remain, and that is none other than the Lord of the Arsh and Kursi, the creator of the dunya. Other than this, every single thing will perish. Say, O Muhammad, قل, tell these people, إن الموت الذي تفرون منه فإنه ملاقيكم. You know, this death that you're running away from. And you and I at this moment in time are running away from death. We really don't believe it. You know, we might not say with our mouths that we don't believe in death. We may acknowledge it, yeah, because we've seen people go before us. So we may say we believe, but our actions are a proof that we don't believe. You see the masajid full on a Friday, you see the masajid full today, you see the masajid full on the day of Eid. But the rest of the year, my young friend, tomorrow come Fajr Salah, you will see one or two safs inside this masjid, and the same goes around for every other masjid in this country. When it's time for Salah, we become deaf and blind to the teachings of Allah and His Rasul. When it's time for Zakah, we become deaf and blind to the teachings of Allah and His Rasul. When it's time for Hajj, we become deaf and blind to the teachings of Allah and His Rasul. Our a'mal are saying that we don't believe in death. We're running away from death. Allah is saying, you tell them, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you can run wherever you like. You can go in the depths of the Atlantic, in the total darkness. My friend, you can climb the peak of the Everest. My friend, you can hide in the darkness of the Amazon or the Kalahari bush. When your time comes to an end, wherever you are, وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. They say the Pentagon and Fort Knox are places where no one can penetrate and get through. You can go and hide there. When your time comes to an end, all of a sudden the barrier will be removed from your eyes. You're in the dunya, but now you can see the akhirah, and you will see that angel standing before you wherever you are in any corner of the globe. You cannot escape.